Hey friends, welcome to End Time Talks. I'm Joel Richardson. Together, Dalton Thomas and I are tag teaming, each doing 5 to 15-minute segments on the issue of the end times, current events, the interrelationship between those two things, and what the Bible has to say about these matters. Now, if you're looking for more than just bite-sized segments, then do be sure to download the Frontier Alliance International app. This is an app that is chock full of excellent, relevant content. Everything from music to music videos to full-length feature films to studies through different books of the Bible. We've got an end-time study on Daniel and Revelation, articles, all kinds of relevant updates and information. Okay, it is available for free on every major app platform. So download the app, Frontier Alliance International. You will absolutely be very happy that you did. So God bless and Maranatha. Hey friends, welcome back to End Time Talks. In this installment, I want to return to the issue of Gog of Magog. Now, in one of the previous installments, I discussed Gog of Magog, found in the oracle of Ezekiel 38 and 39, and I discussed the two primary methods of understanding the names that Ezekiel lists in order to try to understand how they are relevant to us today. What do they mean? What regions are they pointing to? Okay, so Ezekiel lists Gog. He's the evil dictator. He's the great invader of the land of Israel, and he's from the land of Magog. He's the chief prince of Meshech, Tubal. He rules over Gomer and Beth Togarmah, and he's in partnership with Persia, Cush, and Put. So how do we understand these names? What regions is Ezekiel pointing to, or what regions is the Lord pointing to through Ezekiel? So I discussed two primary methods that different interpreters use to try to understand these names. So the first method is what I call the genetic DNA bloodline historical wild goose chase method. Okay, this is to say we look at one of the names, for example, Magog, and we say, where did the Magogian peoples eventually end up? Where did they migrate? Where did they move to? Who did they intermarry with? And today, if we look out in the earth, what people are best understood to be the ethnic DNA bloodline descendants of Magog? Okay, and then we try to find and pinpoint those particular peoples wherever they are spread throughout the earth, and we say, this is Magog. Okay, so we're taking a very ancient name and we're trying to trace it down through history using all of the different historical resources that we have at our disposal to try to identify peoples that are genetically related to the ancient Magogians. Now, in the previous installment, I discussed the fact, I expressed my opinion that I think that's a very poor method of understanding Ezekiel's prophecy. I presented another method which I think is much more responsible, and it's more in keeping with what most responsible biblical interpreters would use, which is following the grammatical historical method, which is to say this: where were the Magogians, where were the Magog peoples in Ezekiel's day? How did Ezekiel the prophet and his immediate audience understand these names? And then we simply locate those peoples where they were in Ezekiel's day, and we correlate them to modern day regions, nations, peoples, tribes, etc. So for example, Magog, Meshech, Tubal, Gomer, Togarmah, in Ezekiel's day were all located in the region of Asia Minor or modern day Turkey. Thus, we understand that Ezekiel was talking about in the last days, there would be this massive invasion of Israel, heavily weighted. The leadership, the primary hinge of this entire invasion seems to be coming, the leadership seems to be coming from the region of Turkey. Now, what I want to do in this session is look at a few maps. I want to look at some maps, some that have been created by popular prophecy teachers, using, again, the bloodline DNA genetic historical wild goose chase method, and some using the historical grammatical method. Okay? These are guys that don't have any particular prophetic bone to pick. They're just looking at the historical data and identifying where these people should be understood. Okay? And we'll see a dramatic contrast. So let's look at the first map. Notice he has Rosh way up there in Russia. He has Magog over in the Central Asian nations of Kazakhstan, Turkmenistan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, even including Afghanistan. Of course, he's got in purple, he's got Persia. He's got Turkey highlighted there in yellow. And then he's got Put as North Africa and Cush as Sudan, including Ethiopia. Of course, right in the middle is Israel. So you can see this very heavily weighted emphasis on Russia, on Central Asia, on the Turkic nations and so forth, but the main emphasis comes from the region of Turkey. Now here's another map, and again, they're a bit grainy. You have to kind of sort of pay attention and look at the map. This particular teacher, this is actually Bill Salas, another friend. He places Magog up in Russia. He's got Meshech over there in southern Russia, in between the Caspian and the Black Seas. He's got Tubal over there in Central Asia. And then, of course, he rightly identifies Persia as Iran and so forth. And Gomer, he's got Gomer and Togarmah. Those are the only ones that he leaves in Asia Minor. And again, they're coming down against the land of Israel. This particular map, I believe it was created by Chuck Missler, again, a dear departed brother in the Lord, a good friend. He's got Magog, okay, Magog is Russia. Strangely, he actually places Gog over there in Europe because, again, Gog is from the land of Magog, so it's kind of strange to separate them. And then he just sort of generally has what he calls the Arab allies down there in the south. They're all coming against Israel. Here's another map. We're kind of zeroed in, focused a bit more on Turkey. This individual puts Tubal, Gomer, Meshech, Togarmah in Turkey, but then he moves Magog up into Russia, as well as Rosh. Again, over there in Iran, he's got Persia. Here's another map. Again, this individual places Gomer up there in Europe, but he's got Magog up in Russia. Togarmah is sort of in southern Russia, eastern Turkey, Azerbaijan, Armenia, that region, southern Russia. He's got Togarmah. Again, he places Meshech and Tubal in Turkey, and then the other nations of Persia, Cush, Put, etc. I agree with. Okay, now let's shift and let's just simply look at some Bible atlases. What do the guys who don't have any particular prophetic bone to pick, where do they identify all of these different names? So let's go ahead and just start with the New Moody Atlas of the Bible. Notice the New Moody Atlas of the Bible places Meshech, Magog, Gomer, Tubal, and Beth Togarmah in Asia Minor, Turkey. Okay? They are consistent. They use the historical grammatical method, and they stick with it. And they all end up with a very Turkey-centered invasion. Again, the leadership of this invasion comes from Turkey. It includes Iran. It includes Sudan. It includes Libya. But it's heavily emphasized in the region of Turkey. Now we have the Zondervan Atlas of the Bible. Again, the Zondervan Atlas of the Bible places the children of Japheth, Magog, Gomer, Togarmah, Meshech, Tubal in Asia Minor, Turkey. Again, the Holman Bible Atlas. You've got Magog, Gomer, Tubal, Togarmah, Meshech, all where? Modern day Turkey, Asia Minor, Anatolia, modern day Turkey. Finally, we've got the IVP, Atlas of Bible History. Again, Magog, Meshech, Tubal, Togarmah. Where? Modern day Turkey. Now, I could go down the list of several other Bible atlases and numerous historical sources, all of which placed Ezekiel's prophecy as being heavily focused on modern day Turkey. Guys, I understand that it's been very popular. It's been very trendy in American prophecy circles over the years to really place Magog up there in Russia. But the bottom line is a careful approach to understanding Ezekiel's prophecy leads us elsewhere. We can't come with our own sort of prophetic bone to pick, our own political prejudices and this sort of thing. It's not an issue of being good students of our teachers. We need to be first and foremost good students of the Scriptures, and we need to allow the Scriptures to lead us where they will. And come what may, that's what the Bible is saying. It's not a matter of trying to manipulate the Bible into saying what pleases us and what suits our political agenda. Rather, we need to conform to what the Scriptures say. So we're going to continue this with these end time talks. We're going to continue discussing this issue of Gog Magog. But until the next session, thanks so much for being with us. God bless, and Maranatha.
Thank you for watching this session of End Time Talks. Frontier Alliance International, as an organization and spiritual family, we're focused on laying foundations and making disciples where there are none in the Middle East, specifically in the Muslim world. I want to ask you to consider supporting FAI at just $5 a month. $5 a month is going to go into a pool of a global family of people that are giving $5 a month that goes into the hands of laborers serving on the front lines in the most difficult, challenging places in the world today, laying foundations where there are none and making disciples where there are none. Again, thank you guys for watching, and thank you for supporting FAI.